Welcome to the Goof and Goober Show, the podcast that brings you laughter, insight, and the quirkiest conversations. Join your hosts, Matthew and Regan, as they embark on a delightful journey through the realms of pop culture, humor, and everyday shenanigans. So, buckle up and get ready for a roller coaster of fun and entertainment. Let's dive into the world of laughs with Matthew and Regan on the Goof and the Goober Show. Well, welcome back to the Goof and Goober Show, guys. We are back for another episode. Not just any episode, episode number 40. We're getting up to episode 50, and man, what a ride it's been. It has been a wild ride. The latest episode of the Goof and Goober is out now. Today is November 13th. I just uploaded it today. So get out there, listen to it. It's a good one. It's not necessarily going over the what do I call it? The movies or TV shows reviews, but it kind of explains what Matthew and I do on the side off of besides work, podcasting, church, and family. We coach. And we review some of the coaches and players, and so it's kind of a good time. So, guys, check out that episode number 39, Crown College, and goes into depth with some of what Crown College is and the season. And, yeah, so go out there. You can go and find us at Goof and Goober Show on Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, the Podbean. You also can find us on the YouTube, Twitch, Facebook, Instagram. We're all there, man. Just come follow us. Join the ride. Don't be a bandwagon when we become big and you can't get on. So we just ask that you guys just join the ride. Come on. We're here. We're ready. The stream it does, so that I for those always.
Yeah, you were good.
Okay, I entrust you, Matthew, to handle that. But yeah, guys, we are live every Monday at 8 p.m. unless we had something like last week, where we had an in-person, just one, where everyone was there. Like right now, Matthew and I are at our homes, live streaming this from our homes. But Friday, we were able to sit down with each other and have some guys and talk in person. None of that COVID crap. Matthew, how do you think that went? Do you think that went well or what?
Yeah, I mean, I thought, guys, I think that was super fun. And I think Regan and I have talked about this off stream and off the record, is that we really would love to at some point have our own little studio where we go to do a full podcast in person.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a lot, but that was a taste of what we can do, and me and you didn't even really interact, to be honest with you.
No.
We had a bunch of guests. We had 3 guests on, 3 Crown College football coaches, who we just talked football, talked about Crown and the season, and it was just a good time, man. It was just this whole last weekend was a good weekend of just dudes being dudes, having a good time. We did a bunch of goofy stuff, and it's just guys being dudes.
It was
it was a good time.
It was a great time. I enjoyed it pretty much up to 3:00. Matthew and I went on a road trip to Illinois, Greenville, Illinois, to play Greenville College, and love Crown College and the direction they're going, but I did not enjoy being a part of that game. It wasn't the most fun. I kind of was just this is kind of embarrassing a little bit, and I'm not to put anyone down, but that was not our best game. And it's just like we came down there, we drove 10 hours just to get our butts handed to, and that was, yeah, I don't know what I was upset at the end, mostly because like I don't know what's gonna happen with me after this season, because I came in as a hype man, had no idea really who anyone was, and then I basically was invited after like the third game of the year to basically come to every game. So and then try to develop relationship with kids I barely knew. Some of them I did know. And then trying to see where my future is now with Crown College. Do I come back, play another year, or do I just call it quits? And so it's a hard kind of pill to swallow. You probably noticed I was kind of down a little bit after the game.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. What did you? I mean, after the loss, what do you think, Matthew?
Yeah. So I mean, like, losing sucks, right? Like, regardless, I don't think anybody likes losing, obviously. To kind of lose in the manner that we did, it hurts even more, and it's just something that time after time was this year or something. The same kind of story, over and over again. Is, I mean, we are a heck of a team.
Yeah.
If we put all of the pieces together, heck of a team.
Yeah.
When we're on, there's no team that can stop us. That's how good we are. Like, and some of you might be listening up on the stream and you're just like, whatever. Like every coach says that. But I think if you go and look at the players we had, you go back and watch the games, you'll see it's like we were sneaky and we should have won a lot more games than we did. And to kind of go out in that fashion, it does two things for me. It obviously pisses me off, right? Like, I was so mad driving home for 10 hours and just like, man, we just got our freaking butts kicked. And
right.
And I wanted to sulk and just do nothing and hate my life because I spent, a lot of time waking up in the morning at, 4 a.m. to get to practice on time and to, help these guys prepare for Saturday.
Right.
To come out that way and to get the result that we did, it disheartened me a little bit. But then it also did this after some reflection and after looking at kind of our roster, looking at the players we have. We graduate 2 guys on the offense.
Yeah.
We graduate 2 guys on the offense.
True.
That's it. So it gives me hope for the next year and the next year, because we graduate 2 guys, both of them, not saying that they're like irreplaceable, but they are replaceable, and we've got guys who are capable of being a replacement for them, if that makes sense. Right? Like, we've trained them enough to where I know that we would feel confident that he would perform just as well as this guy, if that makes sense.
Yep.
And I think if we look at that from that perspective, we're going to get a much older group. We only graduate 2 guys. Not very many kids are leaving because they're in their sophomore or junior season, right? Most kids don't leave a college at that period. And so I get a little hope for the future. And it puts me into a mindset that, like, hey, maybe I need to be better at what I do to help this team get better.
Right.
Maybe I need to recruit more to help our team get better. And so that's kind of where I'm kind of mixed feelings about it. I am also, and Coach Shorts and Coach Womack said this on the bus, or on the drive home, as they were like, I've been counting the days since I don't have to wake up at 4 a.m. to get to practice. And to be honest with you, me too. Like, I'm sad football season's over, but I'm glad I don't have to wake up as early right now. Like it's kind of a relief. It's a relief that I'm not really like happy about because I love football. I love football season. Love having things to do during the week, and having a group to build on.
Yeah.
But I think it was much needed time to say, you know what, let's take a step back, and we've got to reevaluate what we're doing and adjust, if that makes sense.
No, yeah, 100%. I think that's a huge thing that we, as Crown College next year, that we really need to figure out who we are and how we want to kind of identify ourselves as. Because this last game, I don't think it defined it. Like, it's just not who we were. There was just a lot of things on and on the sideline that I just saw that I was just like, this isn't who we are. This isn't what we're about. And I think next year we need to, shape up a little bit.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I think, I don't know, for next year, still up in the air about coming back and playing. Who knows? I want to play football. No, 100%. I think no matter what, I want to play semi-pro this year, but just to get back into the hang of things if I do come back.
I think you've done enough to get yourself an opportunity to step in somewhere. It will come down to figuring out what that role is. Because,
I agree.
Coach Franz, it's got to pay you to technically be a coach. Have to have you on a payroll. And so, it doesn't make sense for you to volunteer everything. If you're volunteering, you might as well just play.
Right.
Because I'm talking like volunteer coaching.
Yeah. I know what you mean. Yeah, I get you. I mean, we'll see what happens. Things are always up in the air for me with football, I feel like. And I love football with all my heart. It's just the one thing in my life that has always been there, and I've always loved. Oh, geez. Anyways.
Portland Sutton, touchdown.
It looks like they might have picked off Josh Allen.
I'm only 10 points away, baby.
I don't know.
Only 10 points away. Oh, piss. I'm only 10 points away.
Dude,
if I win, dude.
Cannot let him get 8. I don't know. Anyways.
Sorry, we're talking about fantasy, guys.
Oh, sorry. It's a big night. It is a huge night for fantasy football for us, but we got things to talk about. We are talking about Loki, season 2, episodes 5 and 6. We left off on episode 4. For last time we were talking about Loki. But my word. Let's finish this football talk and then we're gonna get into Loki because
let's just knock this out.
Yeah, let's do that because it's so I don't know. Anyways, let's talk about Loki. We're done with football. Let's talk about Loki because this is something I've been wanting to talk about. We watched it on the ride home from Greenville, Illinois.
Yep.
And
hello?
Hello?
Oh, my mic just stopped working for a second. Apologies.
And so I got to watch you pretty much watch episode 6 and 5. Not really 5, but mostly 6. Which I think episode 6 is the main episode I really want to emphasize here. Episode 5 was all right. It was kind of like this lead up to. It wasn't like super exciting for me. But I mean, how was episode 5 for you, Matthew?
Episode 5. Let me re-jog my memory here for a second.
Yeah,
episode 5.
Sorry, I should have done.
I just got Disney Plus pulled up here, but if you want to do a little synopsis,
yeah, I can do that. So, season 2, episode 5, Loki traverses dying timelines in attempt traverses dying timelines in an attempt to find his friends, but reality is not what it seems.
Science fiction. That's the episode name, boys.
Mhm.
So this one was a lot of it was a lot of back and forth for me, right? What I thought was cool about this episode. Oh, this I'm just gonna jump into spoilers here. So if you guys
let's do a spoiler warning here. Guys, this is spoilers coming in 3, 2, 1. Spoiler
warning.
Oh, here, how about we do this? Spoiler.
Oh, that's cool. I like that.
What about then we gotta do that or this.
Whoa.
Or that. I mean, that's pretty cool.
It's pretty
if you
freaking
guys
sweet.
like it, tell me if you do it or not. Okay, go ahead.
Oh.
Let's oh gosh. Whoa.
Oh God.
God.
Oh, right in the freaking mouth.
Oof. Ooh.
We gotta actually play with this media thing and add some stuff on here.
Figure out what's happening.
So what I liked about this episode, so it kind of takes. Oh, I'm kind of taking lead here, but I was just gonna talk about why I liked it. But literally, we go to the lives of all the characters that we've been learning about with Mobius, with the police lady, with OB, with quite literally every character that that we've been really getting connected to, and we get to see a lot of their backstory of where they were before the TVA, which was cool. Like, I thought it was funny. Owen Wilson Mobius was a freaking water ski or jet ski seller, and
he loves those jet skis.
He loves the jet skis, and he's like just selling jet skis, and Loki's just like, Mobius. He's like, who? Like, who's that? And like, I thought it was really cool. Like, personally, because I was just like, for me, I was like, I said this episodes in the past is that I thought Mobius could be a sneaky villain. In the fact that we don't know anything about his backstory. And so for us to kind of see that, he's got a family, he's kind of a goofball, not actually like a detective or whatever, and that he just sells watercraft. I thought that was pretty funny. But then I also thought it was really cool because OB literally is like a creator. Like, he creates things, or like he's a scientist and writes books,
right?
And an inventor. And so in real life, that's what he did, and in the TVA, that's also what he did. So I thought that was really cool that, we got to explore that a little bit. I thought OB's kind of been a secret favorite for me. I really like OB. Just super funny, like just a little quirky, kind of that weird like person. You're just like, oh, that's kind of cute, weirdo type thing. Like, he gets excited about his books, and he goes and buys his own books. And I thought this is a really good like context episode. And I think that's where you were going with what you were saying, is kind of like a filler lead up, but it also is a context episode to get us deeper into knowing these characters. But what really kind of drew me into this episode was when Sylvie was at the music store, and she goes and she's like, she grabs the record from the guy, puts the record on the record player, and she basically closes her eyes and let the music play. And then you see the whole world essentially doing what happened to Victor Timely in episode 4, where it's all being destroyed. And I was like, oh, pissed. This is getting real.
Right.
Like, the world she thought she was safe at is now being ripped apart. Like, this is kind of scary. And I mean, I don't know. I really like this episode because it's like I said, I'm a context person. I like to know what the the backstory of these individuals, and understanding what's happened in the past. Um, and then we kind of get to that point. I'll stop rambling, but I give this episode. I mean, I'd give this like a 4.5 out of 5. Wasn't my favorite episode, but it was a good one, in my opinion.
Yeah, for me, like I said, it's a lot of context, and you're just getting a lot. I think, you're getting a lot of backstories, but it's a filler in because they need to complete some of these characters. It's not like it's like a bad. I think what I was saying comparatively to episode 6. And so like to me, like this isn't like that exciting compared to episode 6. I think it is good, because you are learning a lot more about just, Don, you got OD or AD, Dong, PhD, whatever they have the
OB.
different characters and well, I mean they have their own like their real who they are in their variant, basically.
Yeah.
You're learning more about the variant, and it is really cool to see how similar these, we got OB to AD Dog, Doug, or whatever, the PhD guy, and how similar those are to each other. Same thing with Don and freaking
OB.
Oh, not OB, but what's Owen Wilson's character?
Mobius,
but his in here his variant's name is Don. So like the similarities, because like with this jet skis, he had no idea that he actually like enjoyed jet skis in his variant life, but then you kind of find out, and I love that similarity, and that these characters are basically the same but different in their variant life. And so I think this episode for me, like if I were to rate it out of a 5, as we usually do, this gets like a 4.3. I think it's in the overall scheme of things, this needs to happen. It needed to be a filler in, fill the holes for the upcoming the big finale. Huge finale, dude.
Massive finale.
Huge finale, dude. Oh my word. Nothing. I mean, there wasn't anything. Stick on episode 5. There wasn't anything too significant happening in here. Just you're learning about the variants and everyone's variant and how they were, and and so it's a necessary part of the whole scheme of Loki. So it's good. It's still good, and you're getting a lot of good content. Not a whole lot of action here. Not a whole lot of things happening, except freaking the time's coming after everyone.
Yeah, this is like a story builder type thing, like a lead up.
Yep. 100%. What was your rating, Matthew?
4.5.
Yeah. We're
so not too bad. There. Not too close.
Okay. But let's get into the good stuff, okay? Because this is where the episode 6. This is the main event right here, because this is I don't know. I will say this right off the bat. This has saved Marvel for the time being, because I've heard about the Marvels and how horrendous this is. But I'm reminiscing in Loki right now and how great it is, because this is what Marvel has always been, and what we've loved about Marvel is just the storyline, the characters, and they freaking killed it here. They freaking, full on success for 2023. And I think Matthew feels I don't know necessarily because I haven't talked to him.
This is an easy 5 out of 5 for me.
Yeah. Okay, 5 out of 5. So then my question though is, I mean, best TV series of 2023. Because we've had a lot of
Last
good
of Us,
like this is gonna be a hard one. Like, I mean, not to get too much into this story or anything. Like, I was thinking about this. I was like, man, there have been so many good like TV series that have come out in 2023, and like, what? How do you like decide between? I mean,
it's gonna be a tough one. It's gonna be absolutely tough because I mean, we go back and we see Ahsoka. So this is what we've got to rank our stuff off of. We've got The Last of Us at the beginning of the year. We've got Ahsoka. We've got what are The Mandalorian. We've got what other TV show?
Are there anyone's coming out though like that at the like? I mean, we only got what, 1 month and a half towards until like year end.
I don't know, but I think Mandalorian, Ahsoka, and Loki and The Last of Us. Those 4, it's going to be a tough one. It's not going to be easy at all because I loved Ahsoka. Ahsoka was great. Mandalorian, like, holy piss. Like you.
I just don't know. Like, that's just I don't know.
We're being asked to rank the gauntlets.
You know, and like I don't think there's been a year with this many. I don't know. I guess I've never watched too much of like TV series before this year, but like it feels like this year I've been just watching TV series after TV series, and each one is just better after the other. And
Loki though, I've been having a lot of fun with it.
Oh, dude, freaking
Jury Duty?
It.
Does that count?
Golly.
That totally counts as a TV series.
I don't know, dude. There's so freaking many that are just like, oh, and you got, well, that wasn't really anything. The Secret Invasion, that's probably not going to make it. But
no, that's not going to make it.
They freaking butch. But anyways, I mean, the future of Marvel is looking so bright, so good right now. And this is before seeing Miss Marvel. I will
the
Marvels. I will preference that or put that into context because some people might come back and say, no, because the Marvels, from reviews, they are not looking so hot. And I said that before, but I'm going to say it again because I want to make sure people know that I'm just excited about Loki.
I just pulled up. Sorry, this is completely off topic, guys, for just a second here, but I just pulled up our first podcast.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, my gosh. How horrible.
Dude.
How terrible.
We've come so far, dude. We've come so freaking far. From episode 1, the Goof and Goober Show, Avatar 2, The Way of Water, to now.
I think it's also going to be tough to rank the top 5 movies because we've seen so many good movies.
Yeah.
Like, I don't even know, man. Like, I'm just thinking Guardians of the Galaxy's up there.
Yeah.
I think Spider-Man's up there. Sound of Freedom's up there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we're screwed.
Oppenheimer, Ninja Turtles, Blue Beetle. Yeah, you got freaking. I don't know. There's so many things that we've seen this year.
And things we didn't even do a podcast on.
Right.
Just a video on.
Oh, dude, we got to one of these episodes. We're going to watch the review of a church's Avengers reenactment of Easter through the Avengers. It's really good. Trust me. I think we can watch it on. Oh gosh. We only did one. We got to do. That's the other thing. Next year we have to make. We should be try to do more than just one.
Do a Thanksgiving and a Christmas one.
Maybe that's what we should do, but I don't know necessarily what we do. I don't know. We can figure it out. I actually have some ideas for that. But anyway, let's get back to the main event. What we're talking about. This is what happens.
I love going on rabbit
when we
trips.
just go in a freaking hole. Loki, episode 6. Here we go. The Loki learns the true nature of glorious purpose as he rectifies the past. This episode is where Loki tries to pretty much save everyone by himself. He learns about his power of basically the glitching between time, and that's a power he can harness, and he is moving between time to save the whole, the universe, the everything, the timeline, everything. I guess what I am, oh man, there's so many things. Matthew, first thoughts. Let's just do rankings. 5 out of 5. We already said that. What do you? I've said my part on it.
I've got so much I could talk about with this episode. So, okay. First things first. Like, I love this episode with a passion. Like, I could go watch it over and over and over and over again. This is like time travel movies that it's not like time travel movies, essentially, if that makes sense. Like, it's not like the Back of the Future, but this is Loki going back in time to take advantage of his power, essentially.
Yeah.
And he goes back and he literally just becomes like, he goes for 100 years straight in this
Pretty
episode.
Much, yeah.
He goes a whole century to learn biomechanics, engineering,
Yep.
whatever.
Yep.
And he does all of that to, in the end, try and save what they're trying to do, essentially, right? So his time slipping comes to be that it's not like him jumping from one timeline to another. It's him on the same timelines, but different times of that timeline, if that makes sense. So he just repeated over and over and over again the same thing that we got on episode 4, where Victor Timely goes out and gets killed instantly at the end, and we thought, oh shoot, everybody's dead. But he goes back and literally just over and over and over and over and over again,
yeah,
until he got it right. What I wanted to at least bring up here is he finally ends up figuring out the solution for it. But then he also figures out that solution was not actually the solution, and that it was Kang the Conqueror literally controlling everything from the get-go. He knew that this was going to happen, and that there was no end to the destruction of the TVA. He knew it. And the only reason they got to that point was because of Sylvie killing He Who Remains.
Right.
And I was like, oh my gosh, this, like, screw Quantum Mania, because they did a disservice to us for making Kang a little baby back Bisquick. This episode, this one episode, literally showed us that Kang, He Who Remains, is a freaking baller. He is a baller. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, deep down, I was like, this guy's crazy. Yeah, like, he knew he was going to die. He knew that was going to happen. And then he knew the consequences of it.
I mean, in the overall grand scheme of things, like the whole like I paved a way, like that whole quote, I paved a way for you to get to this point. And like I always remember that from season 1. And man, and like I was like, and this whole time I'm thinking there's got to be like Kang has got to have some sort of like idea that this was all going to happen. So then does that, I don't know, like I'm with you. Like I this whole thing of pretty much Loki trying to basically find a cure for everything, and going back in time and trying to figure things out through learning bioengineer or biochem or whatever it is, engineering stuff, and then as well as learning learning that it's not the making the cups or whatever bigger. It's just a matter of going back and making sure Kang doesn't die.
Yep.
And like so, like for me, it's just like I don't know. In the end, I mean, I'm just gonna go out and say it because I just like I have to
go ahead.
Because in the end, Loki chose a path of basically letting Kang die, and then him taking the place of the one who remains. He who remains. And so, does Kang see that though? That's my question. Is there a way like that Kang can see that? Because Kang probably only sees up to what he knows, like where his variant goes. And so I
still think that he is going to obviously play a role in this.
Right.
What Loki does though is now he is the biggest defense against Kang the Conqueror moving forward as of now.
Okay,
for sure.
This is I've seen this though, but now some people are saying this because of Jonathan Majors, that he's no longer a part of the MCU. That now Tom Hiddleston might become the new He Who Remains, or
Kang the Conqueror.
I've seen some theories out there saying that. Is that a possibility? Do you think? I mean, because like the other thing I've also read is that Tom Hiddleston is done playing Loki, which I sure hope not. But
I don't think so. And here's why I don't think so. I think that Loki, or Tom Hiddleston,
yep,
now sets up the theory of him being the Time Stone.
Right.
Him being the Time Stone, him being like literally one of the biggest defenses against Kang the Conqueror. The other thing that I'm like kind of juggling between is that he is going to have to be the person someone goes to in Kang Dynasty. Whoever the main leader is for the Avengers, for an example, in Kang Dynasty, they're going to have to call out for Loki to help them with this situation. Some way, somehow. Go back in time. Dude, you could literally do anything at this point. You could go back, grab Tony Stark, grab Captain America, grab whoever you wanted with Loki now. Being that he controls time now, essentially.
Right, because now there's an infinite amount of time, because when Tony died, they technically because the Time Stone this is where I don't understand.
Remember from the first episode is that now, or the first season, is that the Time Stone, there's been thousands of different variations of Tony Stark and the occurrence of the Time Stones. Or
yeah,
the,
but
the
like
Infinity Stones.
but like with Kang, they have the sacred timeline. The sacred timeline is no longer here. We have no longer the sacred timeline. There is now, I mean, by theory, from what I'm understanding, Loki is saying there is an infinite amount of timelines. Because before it was just well, not an infinite amount of, probably a lot more timelines. Because
this is probably where Daredevil and Wolverine come in play too. And the Fantastic
dude,
Four.
Yeah. But like that's the thing though, is like you're right, is that there could be like they can go out back and now grab anybody from anywhere. But like that the other thing is like, so the time stone is green, and I think it's green because of Loki. But like then you can go back and say, well, the time stone has been green then, so then that would mean that timeline was when I just like, oh my
so
gosh,
confusing.
how do you?
It's so confusing. But I think the idea is that now he controls time, but Kang already knew this stuff was gonna happen. I think, right? I think he knew up to right now, up till him becoming basically time, is that Kang knew that he was going to end up being time, and then he probably only has limited control now that he has the most control over over time. I don't know how to word this right,
yeah,
but it's just, but essentially he owns
so confusing.
He controls time. And
right.
Now look, I think the simplest thing is that Tony Stark, Captain America, could come back. Secret Wars is back on. Secret Wars is baby. Good. We're back. We're freaking back.
Back.
I would be okay. Look, if anybody else came to reprise RDJ from Iron Man, I would be pissed. But I think they could recast Captain America. I think they could recast Chris Evans, which would be cool. But I also read an article that now, because everything in the MCU up until now, even No Way Home is something you can pull from, is that Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man is back on board.
Yes, I heard about that
Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man's back on board, and so I'd be so excited to get Tobey Maguire back.
Are you so like out of the three Spider-Mans, Tobey Maguire, Andrew Garfield, and Tom Holland, who, if you could choose one of them, who would you choose?
I couldn't.
I have to go with
if I had to die die by a sword, they all do something different for me.
Yeah.
Tobey Maguire is like the first superhero movie that I like, besides Batman,
yeah,
the
but
DC
this one, Spider-Man's
stuff.
different though.
Spider-Man's different. I was really young.
Batman. Well, it's like the actual like superpower, because Batman wasn't really superpower. It's just
because I grew up on Batman Forever and Batman and Robin and the old Batman, right? But this one was the one I was like, okay, this guy's supposed to be a teenager. He's kind of my, around my age.
Right.
If I had to die on the sword for one, and to come out and present like the best movie possible, I'm going Andrew Garfield. I'm
100% with you. I freaking loved Andrew Garfield.
He's a fantastic actor.
He is so good. I think he was too old when he did it. Looking back at it, but like I just love him. He's hilarious. I freaking love it. I think Tom Holland's fantastic, and he's doing an amazing job. And Tobey Maguire.
Toby's Toby, obviously.
Yeah, he's just he is the original Spider-Man that everybody knows and loves, and that he kind of started the whole Marvel universe, kind of thing.
Pretty much.
I mean, besides Iron Man, I think Iron Man started this whole
MCU.
Yeah, MCU. Yeah, but Spider-Man was the paving, kind of paved a little bit for this whole universe to expand.
Creation of like just the Marvel stuff.
Well, that superhero movies work out. That if you do a good job, they'll work out. As well as Creed freaking wrecking it in Spider-Man. You're not even paying attention.
I was trying to pull up the article that I saw because I wanted to send it your way. But I can't find it. I think like if we're looking for, if you guys haven't watched a lot of, like, heck, even Tobey Maguire's really good at acting. I'm not saying that either of those guys aren't good. Andrew Garfield, though, he just hits different with the emotion. I don't know what it is. Like, if you watch the cutscene, the end credit cutscene of Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2, where his dad comes out and like, come to find out he wasn't actually dead. That whole sequence, you're just like, holy piss. Like, this shouldn't have been cut from the film, obviously, in my opinion. But man, just a powerful piece. But yeah,
I think what he did from Spider-Man 2, Andrew Garfield, when Gwen Stacy died, and then going into Spider-Man No Way Home when he saved MJ, and that whole moment and interaction that he has is so heartwarming and sad at the same time for Andrew. Like, I don't know, like that whole moment where he just sits there and just looks at MJ and just looks in her eyes, and he's like got tears in his eyes. And that touched me, because like that whole The Amazing Spider-Man episode 2, that was so sad, and like you didn't want to believe what happened with Gwen Stacy or Emma Stone at that moment, because you would never have thought that's how she was going to die, that she was going to die so suddenly, so quick. I don't know. I mean, we're getting into Spider-Man. We're talking about Loki, but like, there's so much, because
just opens up, man.
Whole episode broadens the scope for Marvel, and it just, like I said at the very beginning, it makes our universe of Marvel just explode, because this is what we've been wanting. This is exactly what we've been wanting for years, since
Endgame. Pretty much.
Sorry, I was burping. Yes, Endgame. And there hasn't been really anything else except these TV shows and Spider-Man that we haven't been able to like look forward to. Because, I mean, Endgame, Avengers, that was really what we're, looking forward to. And then like the Endgame, that was the end game, it seemed like. That was the end of Marvel Universe. And here is little light and glimpse of hope for us that we want, that we need. And we've asked, and man, we got it. We freaking got it, man. But
can we also talk about, for just a second, it's almost like, obviously they're not listening to what we've said, but when we freaking watched the other TV shows and they had 30-something minute episodes, and 10 minutes of the episode was credits, the shortest episode in this TV series was 44 minutes long.
Yeah.
44. That is fantastic. That means, like, for every episode, it was like, 37 minutes long, which is plenty of time. Plenty of time. And so if Marvel, Kevin Feige, if you're listening, you're probably not. This is the type of formula that you need to follow, because every week I didn't feel like I could watch this during my lunch. I didn't feel like that I could just sit here and, doze off in 15 minutes, watch the episode, or wait until 7:30 until our podcast to start the episode. I actually had to find some time to invest into this TV show, and I was willing to do so because it was so good.
Yeah.
And that needs to be what's moved forward in Marvel moving forward. Now, what I will say, okay, we're kind of final thoughts here is that, like Regan says, this opens the door for so many different things for the MCU. What I also like is that Marvel next year, although I'm kind of upset, is that they're not making as many movies or TV shows next year.
That could be
now,
a good
there's a
thing,
hit or
though.
miss. It could be a good thing, and I hope that they're doing this, is that they're taking time to create quality products, right?
Yep.
And I think Regan and I could both attest to this. We'd rather have that than spend every week talking crap about Secret Invasion because the first 2 episodes or 3 episodes are great, but then the rest of the TV show is dog crap. Like, we don't want to do that. We don't. We want to be excited. I don't think this TV show got below a 4. I mean, from any of the episodes. I think they're all a 4 above and high 4s for the most part, right? And so this is what I'm looking forward to in the next year. Next year, I think there's only one movie coming out for Marvel, which is great. I think they're still going to be creating Star Wars stuff. I still think they're going to be adding a TV show maybe potentially next year. And that's about it. And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But they just better keep
too.
the same freaking formula.
Oh, yeah.
Don't try to go for the cash grab. Please. Cash grabs don't work.
And
don't.
That's like, we're probably going to go see the Marvels. We'll have to go see the Marvels this weekend at some point. And like I said, there's not looking good, but we got to come in with a open mind, and we got to be okay if, I don't know. Can't be expecting too much from Marvel right now. But yeah, I actually enjoy that they're not going to be, nothing's going to be crazy is going to be coming out next year. I think that's great for Marvel. But then, I mean, what I'm curious to see about I'm curious to see about what DC will then answer back with, because I think DC is trying to compete a lot more with James Gunn. And I'm curious to see now what James Gunn's going to come in with in these next few years as well. And I'm excited for it. 100%. I think this competition between the competition between Marvel and DC has always been great. And I think now that basically DC has a solid guy that can make good movies like James Gunn, and Marvel is understanding we've got to actually create some good content here, or else we're going to lose a bunch of people to DC. I think that's great, and I love it, and it's going to make for some great movies and some great TV shows. And it's going to be great. I'm super excited. I'm super pumped. So freaking pumped. It's going to be great.
Super freaking pumped.
So freaking pumped, dude. I don't know. I got so pumped at the very end with just Loki just sitting on the throne base, and just, I don't know, it was a sad moment too. Because we've watched Loki from being like the worst, basically at his lowest, to basically wanting to people just to die, or just for him to rule over everyone, and doing that forcefully. But now, basically, he got to where he wanted to be. Technically, he is ruling over everyone. He's holding everyone's lives in his hands.
Mm-hmm.
And now, but he had to give up so much to get where he's at. He had to give up and like understand who he was. I don't know. It's such a great character development because we're going back all the way to basically 2009, 2010, and I mean from Thor. I mean, when did Thor come out?
2010, 2011.
2011. Yep, 2011. Yeah. It's just like I can't. I don't know. Like that's just and Avengers was 2012. Yep. I don't know. Like it's just amazing to me to see Loki move from that all the way to where he is currently in what we're seeing. And
massive character development.
So much. And it's not like Thor, because Thor, he kind of had a character change going into, and I some people might disagree with it, and that's fine, but I think it was a good change to have for Thor. But like Loki didn't really change a whole lot. I mean, but not necessarily he did change, but you saw the change. You saw the change in Loki.
It was like slow over time. It wasn't it wasn't instantly Thor's fat.
Right. Or instantly Thor's now this really funny guy and, just very loose and not like butt tight kind of thing. And it's just like,
yeah.
I love that because you love the guy and you grow to love him so much. And there's so much that you find out now because freaking Tom Hiddleston has come out. I mean, people love him now. And I freaking love the guy. But come to find out, the reason why he was how he got the role at Loki, he wasn't actually.
He auditioned for Thor. He
auditioned for Thor, and he thought he was going to be Thor, but then ended up being Loki. Kudos to, what a great choice for Thor. I mean, freaking Chris Hemsworth is, 100%. I don't think there could be a better Thor than Chris Hemsworth.
I've got a couple different picks, but that's besides the point.
I don't think there could be. I don't know. I'm just messing with you. Or Tom Hiddleston. I don't know if there could. I mean, maybe. I think there could be probably somebody that could play. I don't know, Loki. That somebody could play Loki better. I can't. I could see it, but like at the same time, it's just like I don't want anybody else to play Loki because he did such an amazing job.
Oh, he's great. Yeah,
but I don't know.
Huge fan.
I don't know. It's such a great just story and just to see everything unfold over the course of 12 years. And man, I just loved it. I loved it so much. And I want more. I want more. Marvel, if you're listening, Kevin Feige, we want more just like this. Please.
More and more quality.
Better quality. Mm-hmm.
Yep, more and more quality.
Mm-hmm.
We want more of what you've been giving us, but like more quality.
The better
than what you've been giving us.
The better of the quality. Can I get like a side of quality on that one, please?
Yeah, exactly.
If you know what I mean, that's what I'm all about.
Please, I really want some quality on the side, please.
Well, I don't know. What else? Do you have anything else you want to talk about, Matthew?
Let me see here.
I did have some.
Oh, by the way, I did make a mess up. The shortest episode's not 42 minutes. It's 47 minutes. So even better.
Ooh.
So, what was I gonna say? When Loki goes in, he goes to the dead timelines.
Yep.
He says, "I know what kind of god I want to be.
Oh yeah.
And he says, a God for you and for all of us. That's a reference from a previous movie. I think that was episode or Thor 2 or Thor 1 or something like that, where he was saying that to Odin, and that was a direct reference. And I didn't notice that until I was reading an article on it. I was like, holy crap,
dude!
The way look, when Marvel does it, when they're on, man. Like they tie everything together, and like
so well, dude. There's some other ties that people are saying like that you could maybe tie like with Mobius or I guess his variant and his two sons, where Mobius is perceived as what's the Loki's father or Thor's father, Odin, and his two sons are technically Loki and Thor. And they kind of try to compare those two in the movie. Hi, you have to have our daily hi. It's that part of the episode, guys.
Hey, hi.
Scarlett says hi. Hi. Hello, Scarlett. How are you? She's a little nervous. It's that part of the episode,
Yeah, sorry, guys. Every part of the episode, my daughter comes in at some point.
Always at one point.
Usually it's either because of bedtime or she's just getting irritable and she wanted to just come in here. So
she is such a cutie, I will say.
She is.
I love her. You're one lucky dad, Matthew. Hi. You're such a good father, too. I'll say that.
Hi.
Oof.
I am a good father. Thank you. Thank you.
I am.
You know what? I get a lot
father.
of guff, and I want to shout out Coach Womack. Said he thinks I'm a good father too on the bus.
Well, that's
and
good,
that was good.
That's nice to hear.
Hi.
Hi. You didn't tell me that, even though I have a son that's.
I have always said you're a good father. Shut
up.
No,
Womack didn't say that.
Oh, because he's not around you enough, I don't think. He probably forgets that you have a kid.
Yeah, he probably does. He doesn't even know I probably have. Yeah, he probably does forget.
I think he does know that you have a kid. I think
he probably
just
does.
doesn't.
He just forgets.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever.
It's just because my kid's around. So
I always forget. Like I'm around his same age. He said he was
he's 30.
He's 30. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
Yeah, he's only a couple years older than me.
Yeah. I don't know. For some reasons, like I'm not gonna lie, I think I'm way older than you. Not gonna lie. I'm not like to put him down or anything like that. I was just like, I always feel like he's like 25, 26. I don't know why. But yeah, I don't know. There's a lot of like hidden little eggs, little Easter eggs in this whole show that references Loki to his previous self and how he has turned the page or flipped turned
Turned a tide.
Turned a tide.
New page.
He's a new man, a new creation, but the same Loki. And he's more caring and wants to help other people. And it's just that's so good. I thought I was gonna cry at the very end because it seemed like at the very end that this is the last of Loki that we'll see, and he's just basically holding all the time together where he's at, and he can't really move out of that, which is why he who remains cannot move out of where he is. I don't know. There's so much going on.
He's got to hold time together.
He literally is holding all time together. I mean, but I don't think it is the infinite amount. I think it's only to what he can hold together, as well as the TVA is making sure that just the time is not being like destroyed by Kang. Because at the end we're also seeing that they're looking into making sure like all Kang's variants, they're just keeping watch over them and that they're
everywhere.
Well, that's the other thing is that I don't think there's a whole lot of Kangs now. Because
now you think they're not a lot of Kangs?
I don't think so, because I think they probably, I mean, the thing is now Loki understands that some people need to be pruned. That some people, for the greater of the timeline, needs to be pruned so that the timeline can go on. So they probably, and Kang is a huge threat to the timeline because of his powers and what he can do. So there's just, I think that's why I think it opens up to Loki being the new He Who Remains or the Kang. But I don't see Kang ever. I mean, yeah, I could be, because now we understand what Loki is going, and that killing some people is better. And so we're kind of in the what's his name? The freaking Endgame, Avengers Endgame guy.
Thanos.
And what he was saying is that he got rid of some people and left other. What? Not socialism. But like his whole point was that for the greater good of society, we're going to get rid of some people. And it was exactly what the Avengers didn't want. But now we're getting into the Avengers. I don't know what Marvel's going to do next. But this is where they could set up Loki as basically the bad guy, as the next Avenger threat level, the Avengers threat level, whatever you want to call it.
Communism.
Mm-hmm. You nailed it. And capitalism is going to ride in on chariot horses.
What? Come on,
yeah.
butts! Get your butts over here. We're riding off into victory. That'd be so funny. Oh my gosh, that'd be hilarious.
Oh, it's so great. But anyways, I don't know. I don't know. There's so many ideas and opportunities that Marvel can go, and it's great to be where we're at right now. I'm on the hill. I'm on top of the hill right now, and I don't want it to end, but it's gonna have to end at some time. And I know it's probably gonna end when we go and see the Marvels or Miss Marvels or whatever you want to call them. But that I think is gonna be it for the episode. Unless you got anything else you wanted to share, Matthew.
No, there's nothing else that I can really think of other than, I mean, it was a great episode. If you haven't seen, or it was a great TV series. If you haven't seen the TV series, highly recommend it. Highly recommend it. This is like a 4, 6, 7 out of 5 plus overall, I think, between all of our scores. There's just no reason for you not to see it.
Yeah.
And I can just echo exactly what Regan said. I'm excited for the future, but I'm at the high right now. The Marvels is gonna wreck me. I think it's gonna probably piss me off a little bit, but it'll give us a little content to talk about on the show. But I am overall ready for the future of what we can bring to the table in terms of the MCU and how Loki can fit a role into that. It's just gonna come down to execution, obviously. Just like in anything, it's going to be coming to execution. How does Marvel execute this movie in the movies moving forward to meet our needs, essentially?
Yeah.
what I will say, moving forward, what I am excited about, guys, is that yeah, we're gonna go see the Marvels, but there are a lot of good movies coming on, like that are outside of Disney and the outside of like the Marvel, whatever. And we're getting up to Christmas and Thanksgiving time, so I'm really excited for us to
a lot of
start
movies
reviewing
coming
some
out
of that stuff.
during this time right now.
So I mean, Regan and I, we went to a movie a couple weeks ago, and we saw The Killer of the Flower Moon.
Yeah,
pretty dang good movie, by the way. I really like that movie. But I'm just ready to get back on the train, going to the movies every week. You know, just having a good time.
Dude. We're back in full blown though. Like
we're
right
back,
now,
baby.
we're back, man. Like now, football season's over.
Football season's over. I will say, and I'm just gonna say this now. I'm going to be doing a pod. I'll be at a potty in Texas. December 11th. I'll be a potty in Texas. My mom bought me a ticket to go to Texas.
But so, you're gonna be there though, right? You're gonna be on.
I'm gonna bring my stuff,
like your computer, or just
not my computer, my laptop and my mic and my everything.
Just okay.
Just not my computer, not my big computer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or just use your brother's computer. Or does your brother have a computer?
Yeah, one of those.
They probably do. Like one of my friends.
Probably somewhere.
I don't know. Who knows?
Guys, I'm just really, like, honestly, just super excited. You know, football season's it's over, but I'm sad. But this is what I get to look forward to. It's fun time. This last summer was really awesome. Regan and I took this stuff very seriously. Went to movies all the time. Did reviews and stuff like that. So I'm just really excited to get back on the train.
We're back, man.
That's all I had to say. That's my final comments.
Well, let's freaking do them. Anyways, dude. Thank you guys for listening. We are so glad you've listened to the podcast. If you liked what you heard, please leave a comment and like and rate us there on whatever you're listening to, whether the podcast, the Spotify, Google, Apple, Podbean. I haven't checked a whole lot of those things, but guys, please leave us a review. That helps us out a lot. If you didn't like what you heard, or you kind of have some critiques for us, let us know. Let us know in the comments section and how we can do better. We want to hear that, and we're going to try to improve, because we want to take as many opportunities as we can, and we want to get better as best as we can. Because we're pretty brand new in this. This is our first full year. We're almost done with our first year. And then we want to get better. We've made a lot of changes since episode 1, and we've come a long way. But there's still a lot of stuff for us to do, and how we can get better. And so I'm excited to see where we're gonna go. And so, yeah, thank you guys for listening again. Go out, watch Loki season 2 if you haven't, and we love you guys. We love you so much, and we will see you guys on the other side. We love you. Peace. And that's a wrap on another hilarious and unforgettable episode of the Goof and Goober Show. We hope you had as much fun listening as we did recording. If you enjoyed the show, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you never miss out on our future goofiness. Join us next time as we continue to explore the weird and wonderful world of laughter and entertainment. Remember, you can always connect with us on social media and share your favorite moments using hashtag Goof and Goober Show. Until next time, stay goofy, stay goober, and keep spreading smiles wherever you go. Thanks for tuning in to the Goof and Goober Show with Matthew and Regan.